It's Monday, and that means we're talking to John Pateman with the Thunder Bay Public Library. John, welcome back to Net News Ledger.
Hi, James. Good to see you.
It's been another week of fun. Let's get an update from you first on how are things coming with the public library.
Okay, well, first of all, I want to start, James, by sending some thoughts to some colleagues of mine in North Vancouver, where you probably saw there was a terrible incident yesterday.
Yes.
Outside and inside a North Vancouver public library where lives were lost and other lives were damaged. And I want to say via this medium that our thoughts are with those folks, with the staff, with the management, with the board, and also with the victims, of course, of that attack. And it's just reminded us that public libraries are public spaces, and we need to do all that we can to make them as safe as possible.
Here is all I'm going to say to that. Those kind of tragedies we don't think of, and especially not at something like a public library.
Thankfully, they're very few and far between. This is only the second one that I'm aware of since I've been in Canada in the last 8 years, because generally speaking, public libraries are very safe spaces. As for Thunder Bay Public Library, we are still in the grey lockdown zone, as you know, and therefore we continue to offer curbside pickup and drop-off at Brodie, Waverley and Mary J. County Fair is closed because it's in a mall setting, and we continue to offer 24/7 online services, e-books, e-resources, and lots of free information and programming.
Now, through the course of last week, we had communications from both CUPE and the library about layoff notices. What do our readers and viewers need to know here?
Okay, well, we always know that layoff is a very kind of emotive term, particularly in a city with a proud Labour history like Thunder Bay's got. And so the first thing to say is that nobody has been laid off. What's happened is that we are giving notification that if the whole library service has to close down again, and let's hope that doesn't happen, and that will only happen if we are told to close down by the province or the health unit, then we will follow our collective agreements, which says that we must give notification to those workers who would be laid off in that situation. So it's an anticipatory thing. It's kind of getting prepared for something that we hope doesn't happen.
So basically just following procedure.
Yeah, we do. We have a collective agreement which we negotiate with the union. We have 2 locals who work with us, and this is just making sure that those provisions in the contract are followed through.
So coming forward, as we do look forward and hopefully don't see further closings, I mean, we're starting to see the COVID numbers on a daily basis. Over the last 3-4 days, they've been going the right direction, downward. And I asked earlier today in an interview, I asked our Chief Medical Officer of Health what people can be doing. And I mean, the word is to keep doing the right things, washing your hands, social distancing, make sure your mask is on if you go out in public, and to not be out if you don't have to be. And I guess that's sort of similar for the library as you look toward an opening.
Yes, we will continue to maintain every precaution that we've had in place for some time now. We look like we're coming out of this thing, but we don't know for sure. Some of the provincial and other figures in the country have other trends going on. There's concern about the variants. There's concern about the speed of the vaccine rollout. So we're going to continue what we call our slow and safe approach at the library, safeguarding the health and safety first of our staff, without whom there is no library service. And then secondarily, and as a consequence, safeguarding the health of our patrons. And I want to commend my staff for the service they've given throughout this pandemic, but also the patience of our community who are waiting and have gone along with us on this journey for the time when we can all celebrate the reopening of the library in its full extent.
It's an interesting concept. The more that you think about it, it was only last January when the stories of COVID started to surface, and the idea that over a year later, our city would be in this lockdown and we'd be wearing masks if we go out, and it's just brave new world.
Absolutely. And as a result, the library service, like many organizations, has had to reset many things and has had to reimagine many things. and we've used this time to have lots of good conversations, both amongst ourselves and with community members, so that we can start to envision what a library service will look like in the future, because I think nothing's going to be exactly the same as it was before that shutdown that you referred to.
And John, I think we'll close it there, and we'll be meeting and talking again, and talking next Monday, of course. And one thing I think we should both throw out there is that if you have a question for John and the public library, to send them to newsroom@netnewsledger.com, and we can get you an answer.
Absolutely. Be very happy to do that.
Thank you, John.
Thanks, James.
To keep up to date, you have to subscribe. You have to hit that like button and hit the notification to stay in touch.